Why is it not working? Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of fucking wrist locks with long talks. I'm your host, Arran, and I have my two trusty co-hosts, John and Alex. Now we haven't been around for 2 weeks because I was actually away. So how are you both this evening?
I'm doing not too bad,
Yeah, I'm doing not too bad. Yourself, Aaron?
Yes, very well. Nice and refreshed after being away doing competition and stuff with supporting my daughter and that. So let's just kick right into Monday Night Raw from the 24th of November. So the show opens, if my memory serves me correctly, with the Roman Reigns promotion. Take us away, Alex. Go for it.
I thought the Roman Reigns promo it was actually okay. It wasn't the greatest, but um, I think it was the way it was setting up War Games. Um, because even though I'm sure we'll touch on that later on, that how predictable we thought the War Games is going to be.
Yes, totally agree. I totally agree. You're right. It did set up, but it made it look as predictable as we had called 2 weeks ago about it. What we thought could happen, and this promo leaded up to that. If you know what I mean, to set up for what happens when we touch base on war games. Yourself, John.
Yeah, it was a good way to set up the War Games match. And like Alex alluded to, it wasn't the greatest promo, but it built to where it needed to build.
Yeah, 100%, absolutely. And then the first match of the evening was, correct me if I'm wrong, but this was the quarterfinals of the Last Man Standing tournament. Carmelo Hayes
Well,
versus Gunther, if I am correct.
well, it's not the last man standing match. It's the last time
Last
is
time
now.
is now tournament. Yes, sorry. There we go. There we go. So Carmelo Hayes versus Gunther, and well, I haven't seen anything on this because I'm. We could touch base on the rest later because I'm just not happy at all. But there we go.
I think they'd probably just figured that out.
Yeah, I know, but Gunther's like won against Carmelo. I would have loved Carmelo to go further because Carmelo, like other talent, is just brilliant. I just don't understand why they've gone the route that they have, and we'll cover it more with hate as we get there, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I would have loved to have seen Carmelo Hayes beat Gunther
Yep.
because that would have shot him straight up
Hmm.
with that win. Um, but you know how I feel about Gunther. I feel the same way as you do.
Yep.
Um, but I'm surprised WWE didn't punish Gunther for
Yes.
spoiling the tournament on Instagram.
Yes, exactly that, mate. And it was like, because obviously I was thinking it away and I'd seen it and I'm like, are you fucking shitting me? Like, we called it what was going to happen because we have for
Yeah,
weeks leading up to it. And I'm like, why would you put that out there when, yes, the match that's to come hasn't happened yet, if you know what I mean? And I was just like, no, get to hell. Oh, Ollie has come in the comments and said, hello, boys.
hey, Ollie.
Hi, Ollie.
John, your thoughts on the Carmelo Hayes and Gunther match then?
I'm going to call it. I'm going to say it now. A big fat bullshit.
Yep, that's fine. Unless you want
I'm
to
happy
allude
with
to
that.
any more.
No, no, but you know what, right? They're saying it's right. They're saying they're wanting to elevate younger talent. Gunther's not exactly young.
I know, mate.
No.
I know. But are they trying to elevate him and make him the next biggest star, if you know what I mean?
The thing is, he doesn't need it because he's already outrun with the Intercontinental Champion, and he's had a run with the Heavyweight Champion. There's no bigger way of going to be a bigger star than that.
Yes, I know this. And Ollie's come back in and said, fucking robbery. But I think when we get further on, he will come in and say his thoughts exactly on what we think as well about when that match comes up. Then we get obviously Dominic Mysterio promo hyping up against him facing against Cena at War Games. I know what I thought. It was a good promo. It's kind of again it sets up the tone for obviously because Cena wasn't on Raw, but it sets up the tone for War Games to. And I'm just. I know we see it week on week, but boys, but I just his heel work right now is just so fucking amazing, and he's got it on point. And I still think that it. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I still think there is going to be a split somewhere down the line. I don't know about you two, based on what I've seen and what's happened, which we'll cover throughout the podcast tonight, where all the different matches that we've had in the past 2 weeks, if you know what I mean. But it just, I don't know. It just, I wasn't, I was at the time looking forward to their match, but after seeing it when I got home, just I thought, wow. But well, I'll not go too much more into that until we touch base on War Games itself. John, thoughts?
Well, like you said, like Dom's work as a heel is unbelievable, and like the the promo that he put out, it got it got fans wanting the match to happen,
Yeah,
and the fact that when he gets interviewed as well, he stays in heel character, which is absolutely fantastic.
yeah,
It just keeps kayfabe alive.
100%, totally, man. Uh, Thoughts, Alex?
Um, Again, I'm just alluding to what you guys have already said that um, his heel work is phenomenal. His promos are getting better and better each week,
Yeah,
and the stuff he does in ring, even in backstage interviews, it's the way he keeps that character.
100%, man. Totally, 100%.
While we're still speaking about Dom, can we just touch on the him and Eddie Guerrero's daughter, the way they said about keeping their dad's name, you know?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I get that. I get where you're going there. But yeah, honestly, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant indeed. So next match, Rey Mysterio versus JD McDonough, Alex.
Um, I thought that was a pretty good match. I mean, the fact that with GD McDonough you expect interference from Finn. Um, I believe Rey Mysterio won that match.
He certainly did, yes.
Um, with the end of that match, the right person won. Again, it's Rey Mysterio, probably the greatest luchador in the whole of WWE.
Yeah,
Um, Even Rey Mysterio doesn't disappoint in these matches. I mean, he knows how to put on a show.
yeah. John, take it away, my friend.
I'm just glad to see Minecraft Head get beat again.
How did I know you were about to say that, man? Wow. Oh, wow.
He's just as predictable as Triple H's booking.
No, I really enjoyed the match, and like you guys said, the right guy won, and Ray never puts a foot wrong in
No,
his
definitely
matches.
not, mate. Definitely not. And it was good to see him actually getting the one win. And like you, I was expecting interference or what, but the fact that there wasn't much in the way of it, I was pleasantly surprised. Um, Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Did we get on this? Did we get no? Because obviously War Games was coming up. I know they had the hype, but did we get a match for Advantage? Was that on this show? Did we get a women's match for that for Advantage, or a men's match
I
for
believe
Advantage, or
both
did
of those shows were last week.
right?
Both of the
Okay,
Advantage oh no. Both of the Advantage matches was on Raw and SmackDown. The men's
so
got the Raw
the
one and the
Advantage
women's was
match, the
on
female
SmackDown that
Advantage
week.
match happened then on Raw.
Yeah.
And then the SmackDown one.
Yes.
That's what I thought. That's why they had the build up, and then they had the match to determine who had the advantage and the way it started and stuff, and that. So I was just making sure I wasn't going completely off keel and wrong. So what do we think about the hype for the way they built the promo for the women's match at War Games, and how then the match went for Rhea's team to have the advantage? If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think the women's the hype around the women's War Games match had more hype than the men's.
Yeah, I think so. Totally
Um,
agree.
because also you know how I feel about Charlotte Flair. I'm not the biggest fan of Charlotte Flair.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I wasn't rooting obviously for like the Kabuki Warriors or whoever was on their
Yeah,
team.
yeah, yeah.
So I'm glad Charlotte got the advantage in
For
this
her
match.
team, yeah, 100%, 100%.
It wasn't the greatest of matches, but at the end of the day, the right person won.
Yeah, totally. And I agree with you. I get why you don't like Charlotte and stuff, and that I totally get it, and everything else. But I just love, like, see right now, I was in the same boat, because when she came back, she was getting, because the name, I'm not saying that it is, but I just have that feeling. Every time she came back after an injury, she was put right into the title scene, just because of who her dad is and everything else, right? And I don't think that's fair. But anyway, the fact that her and Bliss are working so well together as a tag team, so well. But and you could see, I think it's the most that I've seen Charlotte Flair enjoying being in a tag team, because she's normally a single star, and to see her enjoying being with Bliss as well, and the fact that they still say that they don't like each other, but they can coexist so well, um, and that's why, um. I was happy again, the right person won, but that's my take on it. I didn't like her, but I've grown to get to like her now, just because of what she's doing with Bliss and how she's helping Bliss as well, if that makes sense. John, your thoughts, my friend?
You know what the biggest flaw like you guys, she goes away, she gets injured. Well, she gets injured, goes away, comes back, gets chucked right in because of who she is and who her dad is.
Yeah,
But that she got the advantage, and like you've alluded to as well, the chemistry that her and Bliss have got is absolutely fantastic. Just to see the evolution of the tag team, that are like the chemistry built together,
yeah,
is just unreal. You didn't think it was going to work as well as it has, but they've totally surprised everybody and got on well with each other.
oh yeah, totally, 100%. Now, before we move on to obviously NXT, because we do have quite a bit to cover in NXT, um, do we have a match of the night or a promo of the night that we think justifies to being up there, or do we not have one for Raw for the 25th of November?
I don't think I've got a match of the night on Raw. I mean, most of the matches were sort of mediocre.
Yeah, I felt the same. I didn't
I'm
think, because normally I could pick out
Um,
something to say, but I don't have anything for
if
Raw
I had
myself
to,
either.
if I had to pick a match of the night, it'd be Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, I think so. If I had to pick one, yeah.
I'm gonna go with Dom's promo
Okay, mate. No,
for
no, that's fine.
just because of how well presented.
Yeah, no, I get that, buddy. Right, so moving on then. NXT on the 25th, and a certain GOAT was in the house, because he was also announcing the participants for the men's and the women's Iron Survivor Challenge. But the first match of the evening, I'm going to butcher this guy's name, so No, it's not. It's Sam Legacy versus Jackson Drake, and obviously Jackson Drake won. John, take us away.
It's Sean Legacy.
See, there we go. Sean Legacy. There we go.
I'm a big Sean Legacy fan. I don't think that who was his opponent again? Sorry.
Jackson Drake, buddy.
Yeah, no, I'm not a big fan of the Jackson Drake character. I think the Vanity Project gets involved far too much.
Mm.
But I do think Sean Legacy will eventually get the Evolve Championship off of the Vanity Project.
Nice, Alex.
For me, I thought it was a real good match. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Jackson Drake. And straight away, I forgot who was fighting.
Sean Legacy.
Sean Legacy, that was it. I think Sean Legacy, I like the guy.
Yeah.
He knows how to definitely put on a show in the middle of that ring. And at the end, like I said, it's the right guy won the match. I think that's about it.
Yeah, no, I can't add any more than that because of the involvement with different things and that. I do agree with you both, and I definitely think obviously Jackson Drake was the right person to win the match. Then we get Zaria versus Fallon Henry. Now, what? I love these two both. I think the right person won because Henry won, and I don't think this is over between them two just because the chemistry that they have in the ring and the spots within the match as well. I think this is going to lead to more further down the line, whether it be after NXT deadline or at NXT New Year's Evil that they're going to face off again. I'm just looking forward to seeing. I don't think, as I said, their story's over. I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes and if it will continue in a different way, if that makes sense. John.
Yeah, no, I'm a big fan of both. But they're still teasing the Zarya heel turn.
Yep.
And it's just going to take that one moment to just go boom, and then that's it. But we will come on to that later on because there is something in this later on that
Yes, I know exactly what you're alluding to, my friend.
But I do like Fallon Henley.
Yeah, cool. Alex, your thoughts?
Yeah, I love both these women. I believe this was for the Speed Championship.
Yes, it was, mate.
Even though originally there wasn't a winner at the end of the 60 seconds.
That's right, yes, and they had to...
Then Ava came out and go, we're not ending like that, there needs to be a winner.
Yeah.
And she put it into sudden death.
Yep.
Fallon Henley definitely deserved that win.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And as for the Zarya heel turn, we've been saying it's either her or Soruka were going to turn on each other, but I think Zarya is going to be the one to turn.
I do too, mate, 100%. I know we alluded to it, and I can't remember where it was in the show, but anyway, Cena, was it the men he announced first or the women he announced first, boys? I can't remember.
Men.
Men, right, okay.
I believe it was the men.
Yes, so the GOAT comes and he introduces the men's participants for Iron Survivor. So they were Javon Evans, my boy Leon Slater, Dion Lennox, Miles Bourne, and say his name and he appears, Mr. Joe Hendry. So, and whilst we're on the thoughts of Mr. Hendry, his profile has now actually officially been added to the WWE roster page. And so they haven't actually physically came out. I know we looked at it and we've said, but they've still not. Yes, they've put it in there, but they've still not come out and said that he is a WWE star yet. But it's more or less there, if you know what I mean.
But
What if his debut is New Year's Evil?
That's what I was thinking, my friend. That is what I was thinking. So thoughts on the participants that Cena picked? Yeah, go for it, Alex, because you're about ready.
I believe he picked the right people for this. I mean, I've been heavily critical on Cena for a few things,
Mm-hmm.
but when he made this announcement for the Iron Survivor, I think every pick he made were spot on.
Yep. John?
yeah, no, like Alex said, every participant in the match has worked their ass off to get where they were in that match, and the fact that he gave every one of the participants a praise a phrase of appraisal was amazing as well. And for him to go into depth when he was speaking about them all,
Yep.
it's you couldn't ask for anything more.
You couldn't, and like Alex says, I agree. There is stuff that I'm critical on with, but there's some stuff I'm critical on WWE with them because, obviously I read tonight that when he first came back and was announced he was doing this tour, that he wanted to do 220 days, but WWE only told him that they only need him for 36. And I don't know if that's because his own body that WWE are thinking, oh, it's not going to work, it's not going to take its toll, and everything else, if you know what I mean. But the fact that he was willing to do more dates, but the company only allowed him to do like not even as many as he wanted to do, if you know what I mean. Then we get Helena Jordan versus Jordana Grace versus Leah Ying Lee. Now, was this for the TNA title by any chance?
I believe it was.
And
Yeah,
am I correct that
knockouts.
the title changed, the Knockouts title change, and Leah Ling Lee is now the TNA Knockouts Championship?
Yeah,
Hold
it
it.
did.
That's fine. I'm just making sure I wasn't going completely down the road and off topic here. I thought it was a good match, but also to get to see Leah Ling Yi, because she's Chinese, Japanese?
Oh, probably Chinese.
Yeah, I know. I can't sort it. I just know it's some other language, if that makes sense. But, oh, excuse me, sorry. Just to see, because I think it's the first time I've probably seen her fight. I've seen her on TNA like once or twice, but to see her in a WWE setting with the likes Keelan Jordan and Jordan Grace, I thought it was really nice. But I'm still skeptical of Keelan Jordan's heel work, but I will touch base on that more when we get to obviously Deadline as well and NXT before, just because I think, yes, she needs to be, but I just think it's not working for her right now, if that makes sense, for Keelan Jordan, for the heel presence. I think it's needed, but it still needs work, if that makes sense. Alex, your thoughts on this match?
The match itself was really good. I'm not a big fan of Kalani Jordan's work as a heel.
Yep.
And I've not watched a lot of TNA, so I don't know a lot about Lei Yang. In fact, I've not even watched TNA since the likes of Samoa Joe and AJ
Yeah,
Styles were.
that's what I mean. So I like you. I've seen a couple, but I've not seen her in the matches. So for me, it was pleasantly. I know we've got the partnership, right? But I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is interesting. So to actually get to see her being in there, that's what threw me, because I was like, wait a minute, I've heard of her, but I've not seen much of her. If you know what I mean?
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm glad the title changed hands,
Yeah.
but I can't really judge this one person because I've never seen them
Yeah.
wrestle.
No. I get that, buddy. Totally get that. Your thoughts, John?
Yeah, no, I've been keeping up to date with TNA over the last couple of months because
Mm-hmm.
I've found a site that I can watch on.
Yeah.
So I've seen a couple of matches of Lee, and she's really good competitor, and I'm glad she's got that TNA title because Kalani Jordan, her work is just dire,
Mm-hmm.
and the heel turn, the heel work that she was doing was just driving quickly.
Totally agree. So then, before the main event, we get John Cena announces obviously the women's Survivor Iron Survivor match. So we got Kiana Jordan versus Lola Vice versus Kendall Gray versus Sol Ruka versus Jordana Grace. Now again, like the way he did with the men, he hyped them all up in different ways and stuff. And the fact that you've got an evolved champion involved in there as well, like with Kendall Gray, and I thought that in itself, I thought, wow, that's a nice touch because if you look at where Cena started in OVW, right, with the likes of Lesnar, Randy, and everything else, and then when he went up against Kurt Angle in the Ruthless Aggression era, and I'm thinking he's really thought about his picks for the women's side, like the way he did the men. And I was so looking forward to both matches and seeing how it plays out. So I'm very happy with the picks he made for this. John.
No, 100% agree with you. Like he's went back. He's looked back through how he started, and with Kendall Gray, I'm glad she got the opportunity to showcase what she can do.
Yes.
The other picks like Sol Ruka, I'm sure, Sol Ruka, uh, and the rest of them were up. The picks were great. Like he picked the right people for both sets of Iron Survivor matches, and I was just dead chuffed with the way they played out.
Yeah. And Alex.
Um, I'm just going to say the same thing about the picks for the men's. Every pick was spot on, and the fact that they added the evolved champion
Yeah.
for the women's one, Kendall Gray, was a nice touch.
Yes.
Every pick again spot on.
The fact that the next match is actually Kendall Gray versus Lanny Reed, which will close the show, and obviously we've just alluded to the fact that what Cena done and how he picked her and everything else, and the fact that she basically closes the show and wins her match. Now I can't remember, was this for the Evolve title, boys? Or yeah, the fact that she's
I think it was.
kept the title, and it's great to see that, like, not just her, but the men's Evolve champion as well is getting utilised in NXT as well, getting to see yes, if you've watched Evolve, you've watched where they've started to where they've got to then win the belt, to then actually be showcased on NXT. So if you followed them from when they were in Evolve to actually getting to see them kind of more or less weekly or every second week within the NXT brand, I think it's absolutely brilliant, especially for their development forward so far for them in their career. And I'm happy that she won it because she showcased what she could do. And always came back and said, like what we've already alluded to, that she is a brilliant talent. Alex, your thoughts on this match?
Um, I thought it was a really good match. I think for me, this would have been match of the night
Yes.
for me. And the fact that, like you alluded to, Kendall Gray retained her title,
Yep.
which I'm glad she did because she is a phenomenal talent.
Yep.
And I hope one day we get to see her in Raw or SmackDown.
100%, mate. I think when the time comes for that, the sky is going to be the fucking limit for her. Totally.
That when the
John, your
sky turned
thoughts?
grey.
Oh, wrong bit of
Um,
paper.
as well, like match was fantastic. Kendall Gray, fantastic talent. But did this match not end chaos at the end of the show because
Yes,
was
it
there
did.
not an
Yeah,
inter?
it did. You're right.
And then all the participants for the the women's Iron Survivor came out, and um, did we not get like another little twist in this tale where Zarya, she was away to spear who we thought Sol Ruka,
Yes, you're
and
right.
then
Yeah,
yeah, she got in her face and she's like, "What are you doing?" And then she's like, I was waiting to hit that person, but it looked like she was waiting to hit the other person."
yeah. Yeah, you're right, mate. So no, I thought it was a great show, but like Alex, that was definitely match of the night for me. Moving on to SmackDown before War Games, we get the last time is now tournament another match, which was Jey Uso versus Rusev, and main event Jey Uso won this match. I still love the fact that he comes out via the crowd. He's so over and everything else with the yeet and everything. But I still think there's going to be something further down the line where he's going to turn heel again. Um, I think the right person won the match. I would have potentially maybe liked to have seen Rusev potentially go further and stuff, but I get the reason behind with this, if you know what I mean. John, your thoughts?
Like you said, I would have liked to have seen Rusev go a bit further because I'm going to say this now. The the person that won the whole thing has not had anything to do with Cena in Cena's career at all.
Yep. Nope.
It would have been nice to see some of the elements where they could have went back and forward where I done this to you back in the day and you done that to me back in the day,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we're all because this idiot won the tournament.
Yeah, I know. Thoughts, Alex?
Um, yeah, like John said, I would have loved to have seen Rusev go further, but unfortunately, it is what it is. Jey Uso got the win. Um, I would have loved to have seen Jey Uso versus whoever else was in the final.
Yeah, I would have loved that as well, mate.
I would
100%.
have loved Jey Uso in the final,
Yeah,
but I'm sure we'll talk about that later on.
we will very talk about that later on. I would
Um,
have preferred him in the final, and then
but
yes, it would have been. But then we get obviously the next match. No, was the Miz versus LA Knight in the last time it is now tournament. And obviously LA Knight had to wait to find out about his thingy. Um, uh, I think the Miz has been shot on twice here. Sorry, I really do, because he didn't win his first match. He got put back into it, and he didn't win his second match. Happy for LA Knight, because obviously he gets to face off against Jey Uso before we get to the final, if you know what I mean. But I would have loved to seen the Miz potentially going further, because LA has a slight beef with Cena, but Miz has more beef with Cena, if that makes sense, boys.
yeah,
You go for it, Alex.
um, well, we all know that Miz did something to put his name back in the pot.
Oh yeah, 100% he did.
We all know that it's the Miz we're talking about. Is that predictable?
Yes, well, we'll look to
Um,
that when we come back to the SmackDown, because Mr. Aldis had a promo with him backstage about that, because they talk about stuff for Saturday Night Main Event as well.
yeah. Like I said, it's the Miz. He's that predictable, but I'm happy that LA Knight got the win for this match.
Yeah.
It was a decent match,
Oh yeah.
but everything the Miz does, you can tell he's going to do it a minute before he does it.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I love him as the character that he plays. He's got to overend as well. Because remember when he first came into WWE, no one fucking liked him because he was a reality TV star and everything else. You know, look at him now as a WWE star. It's fucking frightening. Right, John, your thoughts on this match? Sorry.
Well, I'm gonna look to backstage before,
Yeah, go for it, mate.
because when the Miz was speaking to Aldous, with another interaction with Ron Cena,
Yeah,
he wanted his balls put back in the spinner.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I think what's happened. I think what's happened is the Miz has took the ball out and replaced it with his own ball, and that's how he got into the. But
Bottom.
I would have liked to have seen the Miz. I would have liked to have seen the Miz win.
Yeah, yeah. No, it would have been nice because he has, but I get the reason why they put LA because remember Payback. Remember Cena was special guest ref for his match, and remember the interaction at the top of the ramp that they had, and
Yeah.
stuff. And then after that, Cena took his referee's top off and then held up, pointed to LA Knight for the win, let him soak it in, and then walked back through the curtain. So I could see why they've
Yeah.
done it. Then we get Asuka versus Charlotte Flair, and Charlotte Flair wins the match. Thoughts? Anyone want to stab and start?
Yeah, I think I'll go. I mean, Charlotte versus Asuka wasn't a great match, to be honest. Um, I mean, Asuka, I think her heel work is kind of stale,
Yes.
and I don't like where that's leading because we're still waiting on Kyrie Sane to turn on her.
Yeah. And I do think that's coming, but I just don't know when.
We just need Triple H to pull that trigger.
Yeah, I know.
Um,
Your thoughts, Jonathan?
Yeah, Asuka's heel work. It's it's drying up. It's drying up just as quickly as NXT's got Kalani Jordan's heel work. But I do have to laugh every time she says Kyrie.
Yeah, I agree, mate. It's like yeah, they're both right. It's like her heel work isn't the best, and we've alluded like how we don't like Charlotte and the fact that what she's doing just now as a face is just something on different. Um, oh wow, right. Ollie's came back in the comments. This match was crap. Asuka's heel work is shit.
I couldn't have said it any better.
Yeah, couldn't said it any better. So
I'm coming now quickly before we move on.
yeah, go for
Like,
it,
do you
mate.
not think Kairi Sane and Asuka look like something out of a Like a Dragon video game?
Yes, I did think that, mate.
Definitely.
100%. So we move on, which I don't understand why this match was not part of War Games. I do not understand why we went down the road that we did because I think this match was the stole match of the night for me on War Games. The traditional MFTs, that traditional match with Sammy's team. Oh, if no, sorry, not that. I'm jumping the gun here. I'm on about what happened on SmackDown after. Sorry, sharp. No, I think this is a good match. Traditional Survivor Series match. Um, obviously, yes, the MFTs won, but if I remember rightly, with them winning, was there not an altercation after it as well?
Yeah, with the
I
White
believe
Six.
there
Yes, with the
was.
White Six. That's where my head's going because um that I think the MFTs versus the YX6 would have been and I get potentially why they didn't do it because the MFTs don't have a female, right? I get why they potentially didn't have that as a War Games match, but I think that would have been a great War Games match just because of the build that they've had together backwards and forwards, and even what happened on SmackDown this week with Solo, what happened with them, if you know what I mean, without giving too much away, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right, Alex, carry on because about the
Sorry.
match.
No, like you said it. This match should have been on the Survivor Series
Yep.
because you can't have Survivor Series without the 5v5 elimination tag.
Yeah. 100%.
The match itself, definitely match of the night.
Oh yeah, totally, 100%.
Like every Survivor Series match, twists, turns, and end up with Sami Zayn versus the three MFTs.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And I thought there's no freaking way because he's on his own. I thought there's no freaking way he's winning, right? But it was just, as you say, it had the twists, turns. It had everything you expect from a traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series match, if you know what I mean. John, thoughts?
No, like you looked at it, had every twist and turn you could think of. And going forward, I think they're a way to cut the Survivor Series name and just have the event call it War Games.
Yeah, I agree, mate. And for you, was this your match of the evening before we move on to War Games itself?
I think it was because of what happened at the end, where
Yes.
Solo getting the win, and then the lights, they're celebrating in the ring, the lights go out, the White Six are surrounding, Howdy comes behind, hits Sister Abigail, finishes the show.
Yeah, and it sent us as fans home happy and what we really wanted to happen the next night.
Because I think that same night they also appeared on AAA.
Yes, they did. Yes, they very much did.
We need to give our condolences to CM Punk and AJ Lee for the
for the loss of Larry. Well, I was going to touch base on that when we got to the men's War Games match, but you've beat me to it because there's a reason why I was going to touch about it on the men's War Games match. But yes, condolences to obviously AJ Lee and CM Punk for losing Larry the dog. Right.
Yeah.
War Games. So we have Rhea Ripley's team, which consisted of, help me out here, boys. Go. Stab. Rhea Ripley.
Io Sky.
John.
AJ Lee.
Charlotte.
Alexa,
right.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
That is class. I forgot she was on when we were live. That is brilliant. Right. So, that is brilliant, man. I'm not quite sure how to help you with that. That is absolutely class. Oh wow. Right. So then you've got Asuka.
Kairi Sane.
John.
Becky Lynch.
Oh,
Nia Jax.
Nia Jax. Lash Legend. And that's it.
That's it.
Yes. Now, what a match. To open the show, what a fucking match. And Io doing her usual off the top of the cage with the fucking bin. Wow.
What it was actually designed for her with her name on it.
It was 100%. And what I loved as well, though, Charlotte Flair's gear, how she came out, and because she supported a kid, I can't remember what it was, if that makes sense.
I believe the certain kid she was supporting was battling cancer.
And did she not create a gear for her?
And this particular kid created the design for Charlotte Flair's gear.
And the fact that she came out and then wherever the kid was in the crowd, she embraced with the kid before she got down to actually go into the shark cage before they got in the ring. And I thought see that fall through the way it was, and then her allude to it as well, and it shows. I know we've went on recently how it's not her as a person, it's because who she is, because what the company do for her when she's out injured. But for her to see that side of her and do that I thought that was such a nice touch as well, if you know what I mean. But I thought, mate, to open the show, I thought this was a brilliant match. All the different spots throughout, and as John alluded to, the bin being designed for her and everything else. And I called it when I did my predictions that she was going to jump from the top of the cage and everything else, because every time she's been in a War Games match, she has done exactly that. Jump off the cage, whether it be in a bin, but she has physically jumped off the cage, if you know what I mean. So, all in all, for me, I thought great opener. and everything else. Alex.
Like you already said, John, Aaron. Don't know why I was calling you John.
Ah, it's okay, mate. I'll answer to John. It's fine. Don't worry about it, mate.
Sorry.
Don't worry at all.
I think for me, the match was exceptional.
Yeah.
We knew EO was going to do that spot with the bin.
Oh yeah, 100%. There's no denying that was happening.
Off the top of the cage, but I'm happy the right team won.
100%.
And you got to give EO Sky credit for that.
Oh yeah, totally, 100%, mate. John, thoughts?
I like you both alluded to, like the spots were fantastic. There was high flying moments. There was technical moments. There was fish flying. Everything you can think of.
Everything you can think of, yes, 100%, totally that.
And I loved how there was there not a kendo stick design for a Kairi Sane as well?
Yes, there was, mate. Yeah, it's like what they've done in this match. They made each spot or whatever about all the competitors in the match, and they gave them something that was made for them, which I thought was really, really nice. But again, I agree, the right team definitely won the match.
Was there not a botch with Becky Lynch?
Yes, there was, yeah.
She was meant to be getting her face right up against the mesh of the cage.
Yeah.
And she was nowhere near it. She was like an inch away from the mesh.
Yep. You know what I mean?
Do you know what
I know these things happen and everything else, but we still have to call it out if that makes sense.
You know what Aaron, before you go on, do you know what my moment of the match was? When I can't remember who it was, but somebody hoisted AJ Lee up and she handed the bin up. That was class.
That was Rhea.
That was Rhea.
Rhea did that.
That was Rhea. I love how the fact that she is still like that mask, how she's wearing that, how she's still using it, and it works for her, because I'm going to touch base on that when we get to SmackDown as well, because the promo that she did on SmackDown with Priest, because what's going further forward with them in that black, if you know what I mean. But I thought it was, oh wow, it was brilliant. So before we actually move on, I can't move on to the Cena Dom match because Ollie's came back in from the other room saying this was a great match. Io Sky is an amazing talent, and with that bin on top of the cage was insane, and the right team won. Can't agree any fucking more than that. So, Mr. Cena. Now, what I loved about this, right, before Cena came out, well, when he came out, his music hit, and he said, "One last time, Stu," to Stu, and because I've seen the clip, and he's going on the fact his son's behind pulling the rope, the camera wire for him, and the fact that and then he does he's saluting stuff and says, "Right, let's go to work," and the fact he runs and Stu runs with him with Stu's son behind him, does his slide, gets back into the ring, gets his introduction, Dom comes, I know what, I think it's right what they've done, but the way they done it, I thought was class with the returning Liv Morgan. I thought it was absolutely class how they done it, right? And I get why they've put the title back on him, because he's a heel and everything else, and we love his heel work. But the way that she fooled us as fans as well, the fact that she kicks Dom in the nuts, right? Jumps on Cena, hugs Cena, like, I remember this embrace. The last time Cena had this embrace was, remember AJ Lee? When AJ Lee, and it was a similar embrace to AJ Lee, and then she then kicks Cena in the nuts for Dom to then get the 1, 2, 3. I'm thinking that in itself, the whole thing, storytelling to its finest. But I did not expect, because I did not expect her to return be back so quickly, if that makes sense. I thought it was a good match, but I'm interested to see where everything flows with the Judgment Day now, with Liv Morgan being back as well, if that makes sense, boys.
Yeah.
Go for it, Alex.
For me, this was a good match. Also, I didn't think Liv was going to come back for this. I thought they were going to bring her back for the Rumble.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking, mate.
A good surprise.
Yes.
but it's when she didn't actually kick Dom in the nuts, she slapped him across the face.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah.
And as for the embrace with Cena, it was like what kicked off Cena's heel turn.
Yes.
Because as soon as she hugged Cena, you seen her expression change.
Yeah.
And then she kicked him in the nuts.
Yeah. I thought it was brilliant. Your thoughts, John?
You know what? I thought the match was really good, and like you said, when Liv's music hit, I was like, "Nah, surely not. Surely she can't be coming back this early."
Yeah.
But the fact that Cena's wife was front row as well,
Yeah.
experience it, and you could see on her face that the spot had been pulled off really well because she was smiling, but she wasn't giving too much away.
Yeah. No, I totally get that, but totally.
And what Alex alluded to with Liv Morgan's facial expression changing, I thought, is there something else going to happen here, or are we
Mhm.
just going to get? And then when she slapped Dom in the face and then told him to pin him,
Yeah.
that was smart booking.
It was the whole thing, the way it all played out, and as Alex said, it's like you've seen her facial expression, but it like as Alex said, it reminded me of when Cena first turned. That was the way he fucking looked, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, what the fuck? But the way it all came together, I thought was brilliant, and to end, it makes sense because who his final opponent is. Could you imagine if, right? Because we're getting there. Could you imagine if he won that title again? Sorry, could you imagine? Because he's the longest reigning champion of that fucking title. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think it made sense for him to drop the title because we know how much of a snooze fest that match is going to be on Saturday night fucking main event. We know how much
Yeah.
it's going to be.
I
And
have a
everything
theory
else.
about that match. Okay?
See that again, mate?
I have a theory about how that match is going to go.
So do I, but we'll get there when we come to that point, my friend. We'll leave it for there because we need to get there first. Sorry. Then we get Stephanie Vaquer versus Nikki Bella. And this was for her belt, and obviously Stephanie Vaquer retained. Thoughts? John?
Well, I'm happy Stephanie Vicker retained because Nikki Bella does not have the ring charisma that she used to have, and the fact that she cannot perform a proper move set because she's only got like 3 moves to her vocabulary now, and it just makes for a boring match. Sorry to say, but that was the worst match of the night.
Fair enough. I concur. I can't say any more or add any more to that, and I think Alex is the same.
Yeah, pretty much, because we all know Nikki Bella's predictable as fuck.
Yes, 100%. So, main event of the evening, which we kind of figured was going to be the main event, was a Men War Games match. So, you had the Vision. We had Paul Heyman in their corner with Logan Paul,
Braun Breaker.
Bronson Reed.
oh, fucking duck. Just go out the
Lesnar.
duck.
Brock Lesnar.
And Drew McIntyre. Right, Alex, you could start with the other team. Go for it. You could have two to go. Go.
Cody.
And
Punk.
John.
I'm trying to think now. My mind's went blank.
Right, Alex, just tell me the rest of the team. Go for it, because John can't remember.
Jimmy and Jey Uso, Roman Reigns.
There we are.
That's
So,
How
okay.
could you not know that?
Exactly, right. Thoughts on any spots, and we'll get to what happened as well, because I have a theory.
So do I.
And my theory, I think, is the same as your theory, Alex. I'm hoping it is. Some spots in this match were very predictable, but as obviously John alluded to when Mr. Punk came out, obviously he alluded to him, we wished him well. Now, obviously, the jacket on his gear he was wearing, it had Larry's dad on it, and he held his hand to here. Now, at the time, watching the show, I was like, why has he got on there Larry's dad? Why is he doing this? and then all was revealed later. And that made sense with it being on his gear, why he held his hand there, because obviously him and AJ Lee obviously lost the dog. I thought that was a nice touch for like them not to put anything out to after War Games, but I thought it was a nice touch for WWE to let him incorporate that into his entrance and on his ring gear as well. I thought that was really nice touch by Triple H and stuff. Right team, I don't think won. I see why they did, but I would have preferred Punk's team and the person that trolled the cage. Okay, right. We can talk about the spots and everything else, but right, Alex, who do you think? Who do you think the masked man is?
Well, so far the three names I've heard:
Go on.
Jericho,
Yep.
Montez Ford,
Yep.
and Austin Theory.
Correct. That's the three names I've heard too. John.
Yeah, I've heard those three names as well, but
Right. Okay. Wait. So, right, we've all heard the same three names. Who do we think it is?
Me personally,
Yes.
I think it's Montez Ford. If you look at the super kick that
We'll
was
look at
delivered to
the
Punk,
but then you'll look at
it's
the
the
way.
exact same kick as Montez Ford.
But then you look at the way he
But if-
trolls the cage as well. You look at the way he trolls the cage. No, I don't think anyone can troll the cage as fast as that because I've seen Montez Ford do that before too. So that's why I think it's Ford. John.
well, if you look at the hand was white. Not being racist.
Right, okay. Right, okay.
So I do, and I'm going to say this now. I do think it's Jericho.
Okay.
The
Right,
only reason
okay.
why it's Jericho is because he says he will be back in a ring in 2026,
He
but he
did.
didn't say what company he was going for.
Yes, I do think he will be back in the ring at 2026, but I think he is going to be the Royal Rumble. Now, my theory before, because Ollie's came back in the comments, my theory for this is, right, they could do, right, who we are saying it is, but they could do what they've did right now with the El Grande Americanos, right, and stuff, right, because we could say who it is, right, but when the masked man eventually gets unveiled, it won't be the person that actually did the super kick. It will be Seth freaking Rollins that gets unveiled at some point down the line as being the masked man, if that makes sense. That's my theory on it. I don't know about you two, but that's what I'm thinking the way they're going to go because he's meant to technically, yes, I know they've kicked him out, but if you know, that's my theory. I'm open to the room for you two before I add in all these two comments that he's added in as well.
Now, I know this has got to do with like this rivalry, but could this potentially lead up to the culmination of a return of another sort?
Go on then. You can't leave it there,
So,
just go on.
but so who does a really good super kick?
There's a few.
There is a few, mate.
Yeah, but from the SmackDown brand.
Hurley are no longer in the company.
They're no longer in the company, but they could. The door has been opened for them to resign. He was. I'll need to go and have a look because there was somebody had put it out.
I don't think it's Moxley because he's way contracted. Because I know people have said it could be him. He's way contracted far too long for
Yeah,
AEW.
Moxley's not coming back to WWE.
Moxley's definitely not coming back. You find that right, and Alex, you give me your theory then. Whilst John goes and finds what he needs to find, then I'll add in all his comments.
My theory, I think Seth will probably end up being unveiled as the masked man, but
Yep.
I don't think it'll be him that delivered the kick to Punk.
No, I don't think it will be either.
If it is Jericho that actually delivered the kick, then a lot of people are going to be surprised.
Yeah, mate, I think so. So whilst John's trying to find that, Ollie turned around and came back in because we've been speaking about it like either on the pod or off the pod or whenever about it when with the Vision and what's happened. He turned around and said, like I said about Austin Theory joining the Vision, he said this ages ago. When he saw this masked person, I think it's Austin Theory because of the agility to climb the cage, and he doesn't think it's Jericho that did it because he doesn't think Jericho has the agility to climb the cage the way how quickly he's. So basically, what he's saying is he doesn't think Jericho's fast enough to climb the cage the way that he thinks Austin Theory would do, if that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense.
And stuff. So, right. Whilst John's still trying to find, if he hasn't found what he was looking for, match of the night. What then John could come back in. Match of the night, Alex.
Women's War Games match.
Yep, 100%. John, then you could put in your tuppence worth.
Yeah, the women's war games was phenomenal.
Right, so the stuff you found.
Yeah, so people are speculating that it's either Andrade.
Doubtful.
Doubtful,
And
but I see why. I see why he's going there.
Do you know the guy that played the first Sin Cara?
Yes.
Because he had that super kick looked exactly like that.
Right, okay.
Because if you remember, CM Punk had an altercation backstage with Sin Cara that got him suspended for 30 days back
Yeah,
in
he
the
did
day.
actually. I forgot about that. So before we move on to Raw from this week, Ollie has came back and said the women's War Games match or Dom match were match of the night for him. So Monday Night Raw, the show opens. Obviously we've got the fallout because of what happened at War Games, and we get Rhea Ripley and Io Sky promo. Thoughts? John, go for it.
Now, this was about. Did she not thank her for, like, like being there for her and, like, having her
Yes.
back?
Yeah.
I thought this was very well played out because, like, yes, they're hard, they're like they're recovering from war games, but the way they interacted as well, and then to have Alexa and Charlotte come down, and I called it as soon as they came out. I called it. I go, "Oh, this is going to set up another tag team match for later on,"
Yep,
which
and
it did.
It did. Yep. It always does though, mate, when these promos. I agree with you. I thought it was good to see that how she was there for them and everything else. But I'm loving the way they're going in direction for this with all the women's teams and how it's setting up and the way it could go going down the line further, if you know what I mean. I'm looking forward to where it might go. Thoughts, Alex?
What John said, this was very well. This was a real good promo. It was very well performed by all the women. And then as soon as Charlotte and Alexa came down, we knew fine well there's going to be a tag match.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a real good promo.
So we get the semi-finals for the Last Time Is Now tournament. Mr. Jey Uso versus Mr. L.A. Knight, yeah. And Mr. L.A. Knight progresses to the next round. Very happy with the match and how he won and everything else because he has a beef with Cena, as we've alluded to throughout all of this. But still not happy with the final outcome of what's going to happen at Saturday Night Main Event. Alex, go for it, because I could see you're itching to carry on.
Yeah, for me, this was a real good match.
Yep.
As much as I wanted Jay to win, I'm happy that LA Knight got the win.
Yeah.
But obviously, what Jay did after the match.
Oh yeah.
He literally kicked off, threw the prime bottles everywhere. Maybe that's a sign of his heel turn.
Yeah. John?
Like you both alluded to, like the right person won, because of the beef with Cena, and Jay doesn't really have any beef with Cena at all.
Nope.
But I think Alex is right with the ending of the match. I think this is a Foreman of Jay turning on absolutely everyone. I think he's gonna go down a losing spiral,
Yeah.
and then I think it's gonna evolve into him turning his back on Jimmy and Roman, and then he's gonna like say he's the head of the table. He's gonna do this or do that, do this. But like I said, the match was really good, and like I say, I'm a fan of Jey, so I'm a fan of LA Knight. So
I can't add any more than that. The right person won, and it is definitely pushing towards what we've spoke about for the last like 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. With this turn, they just need to pull the bloody trigger on it. But anyway, Dominic Mysterio promo, because obviously he won the title and Liv Morgan's with them and everything else and all that jazz. I know what I thought again. His promo work is getting so much better because if you remember when he first turned heel and how the way the crowd were booing him, yes, and not. I know sometimes not all of it was the crowd, but to get him the reaction as a heel that he needed, it was booed in stuff, if you know what I mean. But the fact that he's getting it over so much now with his promo is just absolutely brilliant. And I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes and who he's going to face next for the IC title. Alex.
Well, the promo was really good. I mean, the way, like I said earlier, the way Dom cuts his promos is getting better, and the way he cut this one, I think probably Oscar worthy.
Oh.
But
Give me my bottle from the front.
it's when I believe the whole of the Judgment Day was out, weren't they?
Yeah, you're right, mate. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was the way Roxanne Perez was staring at Liv.
Yes.
Like, that was the look of jealousy.
yeah, but Alex, the whole of the Judgment Day come out, but Liv come out later.
Ah. Okay. Maybe I fucked up.
Nah, it doesn't matter. It's fine. Right, John, on you go, mate.
No, like the way Dom delivered the promo, having all the Judgment Day out, and then he alluded to like this person helped me get my title back, and then he introduced Liv, which was genius to do. I thought was the writing on the wall is Dom is, and I'm going to say this now, predicting the future here. Dom is a future WWE or World Heavyweight Champion.
I totally agree, my friend. I totally agree. I don't know what's going on with the stream because we can't see each other properly. Right, wait a minute. It looks weird on YouTube. I don't know why. Wait a minute. Yeah, maybe now. Anyway, so Ollie's came back in and said the one thing I don't like about Jay and Jimmy, I think they should push Jimmy like they push Jay. So he feels that Jay's getting the push, but Jimmy isn't, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So moving on to the men's tag team titles. I can't remember if these were online, but I'm sure they were. We have AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, which they still don't have a name. If I'm correct, they've still not managed to come up with a name for them.
No, they've not.
And they've faced the New Day. Obviously, Styles and Lee won the match, which I thought was the right choice for them to continue with the belts and get better as a team. Good to actually see the New Day in the ring because we've not seen them in the ring for a while, if that makes sense. So it was very good to actually see that. Thoughts, Alex?
Um, Well, it was, like you said, it was good to see the New Day finally in the ring. I mean, I'm not a big fan of their heel work,
No.
but the match itself was really good. Also, AJ and Dragon Lee, um, they're phenomenal as a tag team. They hit all their spots. I don't think there's much more I can add. I mean, it's AJ Styles and Dragon Lee.
Yeah. John, thoughts?
Well, I'm just going to call them the AJ Lees.
What about Dragon Styles?
Dragon Styles, yeah, I like that too, mate.
The Phenomenal Dragon?
Ah, man, don't. I so like that as well.
But like you have alluded to, New Day don't work well as heels.
No,
Better
definitely
as
not.
baby. And I think the right team won, and it was good to see the four compatible elements in the ring, because there is different styles of elements where they're all high flyers in their own right, but there was a bit of technical technician moves as well in that match, which was good to see.
Yeah. So, moving on to a Vision promo. Alex, take us away.
Yeah, I think we all know how I feel about Team Vision.
I do know how you feel about Team Vision, mate, but we still need to speak about it, unfortunately.
Yeah, and the promos are getting predictable. They're not very good. But obviously adding Logan Paul to the team, you know how I feel about him.
Yes.
I don't like him. I can't stand him.
Yeah.
And desperately want him fired for WWE.
Yeah. I can't add any more than that because it was just, I get they were blagging because of what happened and everything else and that, but still, nah, sorry. Right, John?
I'm not going to call them the Division anymore. I'm going to call them the Convincibles.
I mean, it does have a certain ring to it.
Well,
It does, but wow.
but yeah, no, yeah, I'm not. Logan Paul does not deserve to be as good as he is in the ring. That's all I'm going to say.
No, he doesn't, but then we get what we've been speaking about all night, right? Because we're getting close to it because we're almost done, boys. Then we get the last time is now Mr. Borefest Pritt Gunther versus Solo Sikoa, and Gunther wins to go on to face LA Knight on SmackDown on Friday night. This just passed. Boring.
It was a snore fest.
It was. I'm not being funny, right? I would have preferred, right, Solo to have won this match, and it been Solo versus LA Knight, and either of them two potentially being Cena's final opponent on Saturday Night Main Event. Purely because if you remember when Cena came back, Solo was Cena's first opponent, right?
Yeah.
And Cena put Solo over. So
Yeah.
they have beefed technically. So I can't add any more because yes, his ring work is great, but oh no, sorry. That match alone sorry, it's going to be a snooze fest when it comes to it. I'll let you two add. I've got two comments, but I'll let you two add, and then I'll put the two comments in from Ollie. Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm just going to say this. The match was absolute dog shit.
Yep. Never forgot. John, you've said your bit. You want do either two you want to add before adding the two comments from the small fry?
Well, I'm gonna add something.
Go on.
Do you know what, WWE? If you're watching this, abominate Gunther right now.
So whilst you were speaking about obviously the Vision promo and then went on to the Gunther match, Ollie came out and said that Logan Paul is a dumbass bitch and Gunther is a German prick. So
Austrian prick.
yeah, Austrian prick. Fuck, he forgot you that. Honestly, well done, Alex. Then we get the main event of the evening, which we already alluded to, which is a tag match. Rhea and Io Sky versus Alexa Bliss and Ric Flair. Fucking hell, Charlotte Flair. Now what? This wasn't for the belts. This was just a match, right? This wasn't for
Well,
the tag
none of them are
belts.
champions.
No, right?
No,
and
this was just for who gets to face the champions.
who gets to face the champions, and the match ended in a double DQ because, if memory serves me correctly, did the Judgment Day and Nia Jax and Lash Legend not get involved.
Yes.
So
So
did the Kabuki Warriors.
and the Kabuki Warriors. So that's what I mean. This is building towards whatever the next PLE is. Maybe not Saturday Night Main Event, but it could
The
build
Rumble.
towards
No,
It could build towards the Rumble.
the Rumble. Yeah.
no, I don't know because the Rumble's only rumored to be 4 matches.
Yeah, two, yeah, so that's fine. We could have this as a fatal 4-way.
You know what I think is going to happen? I think it's going to be a fatal 4-way for the tag belts.
Did I just say that? Sorry. Did I?
Don't say that. And I was thinking the same thing.
I know, so it's going to be a fatal 4-way at the Rumble. So we've got the men's Rumble, the women's Rumble, and that fatal 4-way. There's one other match. If there's only going to be 4 matches for the Rumble. But anyway, so what I liked about this was obviously you had the beatdown and everything else. So because it's Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez have got the belts, and you had the beatdown and stuff. And then so Roxanne picks up the belt, but she's like, "Oh shit, this belt isn't technically," because obviously Liv's been away, technically isn't hers. That's the way she was thinking. And she went to obviously hand the belt back to Liv. And Liv then hands her the belt and stands tall with them and points to them. And I'm thinking,
well, it was the
that's-
Kabuki Warriors as the tag champs.
well, the show ended with them holding the belts. So I assumed it was
Yeah, because
Raquel.
the Kabuki Warriors got involved in the beatdown as well.
They got involved. So I assumed it was the Judgment Day that had the belts, because Bliss and that don't have them. Just the fact that the way that Roxanne was acting, and Liv was like, "No, on you go." And I totally agree with what Ollie's just said as well. This main event was a fucking shit show, and Raw was fucking shocking. I cannot add any more to that at all.
I can't add any more to that. Always
I
on
agree.
the ball with that one.
Well, before we move on, I can't see that, John. The Kabuki Warriors, right? Sorry, what?
Yeah, they're the current tag team. Yeah, they're the current women's tag champs.
The Kabuki Warriors, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So they've obviously just picked up the belts, excuse me, and just showed like what could happen and Liv's right. That's where I've gotten confused. Do we have a match tonight before we move on to NXT? I don't think I do.
I don't think I do. The whole of SmackDown was shit.
The whole Raw was shit. We're moving on to NXT now. Okay, we're moving on to NXT. Right, opening promo with the obviously you've got Ava in the ring, and you've got Sol Ruka, you have got Keelan Jordan, you have got Kendall Gray, you have got give me the other two, please.
Grace.
Jordan and Grace. One more, Alex.
Crap.
Can't remember them all. Right, wait a minute. So Keelan Jordan, Lola Vice, Kendall Gray, Sol Ruka, and Jordan and Grace. They were all in the ring with Ava, and they were obviously talking about the Iron Survivor match, which is obviously coming up and stuff. And they were saying who they thought would win it and everything else. Thought it was a nice build for the promo, and it's set up what could potentially happen, obviously, on Deadline. Thoughts on the opening segment at all with all the different people and what? Okay, I know we've seen Deadline, but before this, once you've watched this promo, did we have who we thought? I know we've seen it now, but Did you have a person picked for this match before you watched Deadline and who you thought was going to be the sole survivor? So, one, how did you rate the promo? And two, did you have who you thought was going to win the women's match? Alex, go for it.
I think the promo itself was a 10 out of 10.
Yep.
I mean, obviously building up the hype towards the Iron Survivor match, which happened recently.
Yep.
Um, and as for the women involved, well, who I wanted to win, originally I was going to go with Sol Ruka.
Same. And I agree, the promo was 10 out of 10 as well. John, thoughts, promo, and who you thought would actually be the sole survivor before, obviously, we watched it.
10 out of 10 for the promo. I originally thought, like you guys, Sol Ruka, just the sheer fact that they're pushing her so much. And the way she's delivering on the backstage segments, the microphone work, and the wrestling, even though she's still technically injured.
Yeah.
And she's selling it so well.
Oh, 100%, mate. Honestly.
Is just the women. Do you know what? The women, I'm going to say this now, the women's division in NXT is way better than the main roster on both SmackDown and Raw.
Yeah, completely agree.
Totally agree, boys. I can't fault it. It's, if you look at it, the fact that what Sean's doing with NXT and stuff, and how they've got the involvement with TNA, it's just phenomenal to see. Some things are predictable, but other things you're like, oh, I'm surprised that actually happened. If you know what I mean. First match of the evening was Ariana Grace versus Thea Hale. And the winner of the match was obviously Thea Hale. Take us away, Alex.
I thought this was a pretty decent match. And also with Thea Hale, the things that what she's doing with Joe Hendry at the moment.
Yeah.
Not only hilarious, but Thea Hale's an amazing talent. Also, she hits her Joe Hendry spots at the perfect time.
Yeah, man. I love it. Thoughts, John?
Yeah, no, completely agree with Alex. Joe Henry spots, fantastic. Before we go on, like how we were alluding to that WWE haven't officially said anything on the Joe Henry signing.
Yeah.
The president has actually come out and said that he's happy with, and he's happy for Joe for signing with NXT and whatnot, and he's put it out there that he's already signed with WWE as well.
Nice. That's class. I agree with you both. We can't add any more or any less. Her hitting the spots the way she does, it's comical, it's brilliant. I love how they have came up with the idea together. Her and Joe, it's just brilliant. Next match is Tavion Heights versus Josh Briggs, and Mr. Briggs obviously wins the match. Again, I thought this was a really good match. I just love seeing these two together and working so freaking well in the ring. I don't think the feud between these two is over. I think that's going to continue potentially into New Year's Eve when that comes around. Thoughts, Alex?
Like you said, these two are a phenomenal in the ring. It's the chemistry they have with each other during the match. It just works so well, which made the match as good as it was.
100%. John?
Well, we always allude to Tavion Heights as my guy.
Yeah.
I thought it was Devon. Was your guy?
The both are.
You've been greedy like me.
But I think now I know we're going to get onto it, but I think what happened at the end of deadline sets up
Yes.
something between this whole match as well.
Oh yeah, totally. I 100% agree, mate. Totally.
Match itself was really good.
Yeah. Alex, thoughts?
I've given you my thoughts.
I was making sure you pay attention. That's fine. Fail Influence versus Soul Ruka, Kendall Gray, and Lola Vice. Now, is this where you alluded to what you alluded to, John, or is this earlier on where what happened?
What with the spear?
Yes, would this happen here or did this happen?
I think it happened at the end of the last, or it could have happened here. I'm not too sure.
Right,
Can't
okay.
remember, but I did see the recap on deadline that.
Yeah, fair enough. Right, well, because it came to you first, your thoughts on this match then?
I thought the match was really good. I thought it showed that the three combustible elements in the Iron Survivor can work together well as being enemies against a team that is already a heel.
Yeah, I can't agree more. I don't think I could add any more. It just showed that, yes, because obviously we have Iron Survivor coming up, that the fact that these competitors were ready to play it out and be able to do what they need to. Your thoughts, Alex, while John is adjusting himself and doing whatever?
I don't even know why. I don't even want to know what
I don't
John's doing
even want
over
to know either, man, but wow.
there.
Yeah.
I thought the match itself was extremely good. I believe. Oh, I, what were the two teams again?
Fatal Influence, Fatal Influence versus Soul Ruka, Kendall Gray, and Lola.
And I believe Fatal Influence won the match.
No, Ruka, Vice, and Gray
No,
won the match.
sorry. Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was a really good match. I mean, obviously with Ruka, she's still battling that injury.
Yeah, it's mental, mate. How she's still battling that injury and still able to do what she could do. It's frightening. Boys came
Yeah.
back in the comments before we move on to OTM versus Chase U. Right now, NXT is a far better show than Raw and SmackDown.
He's not wrong.
He isn't wrong, 100%, mate. Totally. So OTM versus Chase U and OTM won. Thoughts, John?
You know what? OTM are one of the highest rising tag teams to evolve from the Evolve.
Totally agree, mate.
And as you said, Chase, you just need to disband and just go.
I don't think there's any need for it anymore, if that makes sense. But I think
It's getting it's stale.
yeah, for them to go up against Chase U, I think it was good enough for them because they, as you say, they're the highest rating team from Evolve, and they're doing so well to showcase what they can do and what we've seen from them when they've been involved, and getting to see that each week on NXT, I think is absolutely brilliant. Thoughts, Alex, before we move on to the main event, and there's two more things to go, then we're done.
I thought it was a real good match. I mean, I've not been a fan of Chase U,
Yeah,
but I do like the direction OTM's going in. Like potentially they could be what a tag team champion or Raw or SmackDown.
yeah, 100%, totally. Main event of the evening was Dark State versus Mr. Hendry, Leon Slater, Javon Evans, and Miles Bourne. And obviously, Joe Hendry and his team won. So, again, within this match, it was good to see that because these guys are going to be fighting against each other in the Iron Survivor match, it was good to see that they were able to, like women, coexist as a team against a good team like Dark State. I'm loving what Dark State are doing just now in NXT, and I'm just looking forward to seeing where it can go and how they can continue as a team. Alex, your thoughts?
I think for me, potentially, this possibly might have been match of the night.
I cannot
Um,
agree anymore.
I mean, you're talking about Javon Evans, Leon Slater, two of the best in both NXT and TNA.
Yep.
Um, it, the match had its spots. Um, well, Leon hitting his, Javon hitting his. I don't think I can add any more to that. I mean, this was a fantastic match.
I was 100%, mate. I can't. I like that you say. Like, we're going about both Leon and Javon each week, and like the fact that they've been tagging consistently as well, and the fact that they can tag so well, but we'll touch base on it very soon when we get to a deadline. But the fact that they can also do the in-ring work that they do as singles competitors against each other as well is just phenomenal. John, thoughts before we get to SmackDown and then deadline and we're done.
You know what, like Alex said, Javon and Leon are great, and with an added mix of Joe Henry in there as well, it was phenomenal to see a three-man team. And if WWE do decide to bring in the trios titles, put them on them.
Yeah, totally agree. And before we move on to SmackDown, Ollie has came back in and said we have went over this so many times about Leon Slater and Javon Evans. They are great talents. I can't agree anymore because we say it every other week how well they perform in the business. So, right, two more and then we're done, boys. So, Friday night SmackDown. Opening segment. Now, obviously, we get the recap of what happened from War Games and everything else. Cody Rhodes comes out. I've never in my life, I don't know about you two, but I can't remember the last time I seen Cody Rhodes um, deliver a promo like the way that he normally comes out and does whatever city they're in, WWE, wherever they are. What do you want to talk about? Nothing like that. Music hits, comes out, gets on the mic, and says to Nick Aldis he wants Drew McIntyre unsuspended because he is he's not done with him and he wants him and he keeps going, and just the delivery of the promotion and everything else, I was just like, wow, is this us actually seeing the Cody we want to see and the heel Cody? It's coming. And I just loved the way the show opened and how ruthless he was with the use of his words, and then what happened later on in the parking lot as well, if you know what I mean. Alex, thoughts?
Quite frankly, Cody Rhodes' best promo by far.
Yes.
We know that heel turn's coming.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's just a matter when Triple H pulls that trigger, I'll go, right, you're now a heel.
Yeah.
Go for it. But what if Drew McIntyre takes the title off of Cody at the Rumble?
Mate, I would know what that could then be when the heel turn happens.
That's when Cody snaps.
Yes, exactly. Now I would be happy as a Scotsman, and I think you John, you would be as well.
Definitely. I mean,
Be
I'm
happy for
always
them
going
to
to be
do
a
it,
McIntyre
but I
fan.
do think
He
that's
hails from
when
Scotland, so
Cody absolutely just loses his shit. John, thoughts?
The way the promo started backstage. Nick Aldis confronted Drew McIntyre.
That's it. Told him to get away.
Yeah, he told him to get away. Cody got in his face. Then Nick was pushing him back and told him to go and calm down.
Yeah.
Now then he went to the ring. Music hit. Comes out. Delivers his promo. Absolutely phenomenal promo. and it was well delivered, well received, and I think it got the message across that really they're not really done with the Drew McIntyre Cody Rhodes rivalry,
No.
which sparks interest even more into the Rumble now.
Oh, 100%. Cameron Miller has joined the comments and said hi, boys. So hi to you too, Cameron.
Hey, Callum.
So we get the continuation of obviously the open challenge, Eli Dragunov versus Carmelo Hayes, and again Dragunov running with this open challenge is just phenomenal. Don't think he had a ball slip this week. As far as I'm aware, I don't think he did, but just
No, he did not know.
his work, see, since he's came back, since the injury and with the knee brace and having that to protect him like others do, his work has just been phenomenal. And I'm glad to see that they still haven't actually physically taken the title off him yet. They're letting him have this run with the belt, if you know what I mean.
So we didn't have an open challenge last week on SmackDown.
No, I know we didn't.
So, but like you said, I'm loving the way they're doing the open challenge. But they already announced when it was backstage, Ilya had a confrontation with Tommaso,
Yes.
and he says, "Oh, it looks like you're going to have to wait again to get your opportunity." But I like how he's saying it's open to you.
Yeah. I totally agree.
Absolutely phenomenal. Like I say, Ilya's my best SmackDown roster member at the moment, and it's his matches that I always look forward to on SmackDown at the moment.
Alex, thoughts?
Do we need to talk about the other matches in SmackDown? It's Ilya
No, I
Dragunov
don't think we
open
do, but
challenge.
we
I
kind of
mean,
have to touch a little bit, unfortunately.
yeah, I mean, match of the night.
Yeah, totally.
That
Cannot
has to be
add, mate, because the last match is a fucking snooze fest.
It's the way the match ended though.
Yeah.
When Ciampa came down.
Yes. Are they trying to allude us to the way that Ciampa was before and everything else? Are they trying to go back down that road, if you know what I mean?
I think down the road we're going to see Ciampa versus Dragunov, and I think Ciampa's going to take the title.
Yeah, I do. Just the way we've seen this week after week that he turns up at either during or after the match. Then I'm not sure if it was here or wherever, but we get back to this is the parking lot segment. The Drew turns up in the car. Aldous comes out, tells him to go. He goes, no, you heard what Heyman said. Says, doesn't matter what Heyman said. I'm actually, I'm your boss, not Heyman. But I won with a vision. Doesn't matter if you won with a vision. And then he says to him, well, you go because you're still suspended. Then Cody gets in the passenger side and then starts to fucking hit the crap out of him, and then they separate him. And then before we go on to the next match, we get a promo backstage. I don't know if it was here. I'm just going to throw it in here anyway. But we get a promo backstage with what John alluded to earlier with the Miz. And stuff, and going on about how he's not booked on Saturday Night Main Event and everything else, and Aldous says to him, well, actually, it says, you remember what happened last week? It says, I know that you changed the balls in there so you could actually be next to in line to face LA Knight. And then obviously, but I do know someone who is booked on thingy. So Bailey comes in and says, oh, thank you for booking me being on Saturday Night Main Event. And Miz comes in and goes, unbelievable. And he goes on and talks away, and we've alluded to her already. And I think this match is going to be a fucking brilliant match on Saturday Night Main Event, which is Bailey versus Soul Ruka. I think that match alone, especially with Bailey being the veteran and Soul Ruka being up and coming, and her having the injury that she has and still fighting with it, I think putting her up against Bailey is going to help protect her even more when they face off against each other. If you know what I mean, boys.
Mm-hmm.
So then we get Alexa Bliss versus Kairi Sane. Alexa Bliss won the match, but if I remember rightly, was there not involvement somewhere with others from other teams? Yes, John's nodding, so John, you could go. Take us away.
Yeah, because I think I think Asuka tried to. I think it was either Charlotte or Alexa where they missed and hit the bell ringer.
Ah,
But yeah, no, this match was okay. It wasn't the best,
mhm,
but it was better than Gunther versus LA Knight anyway.
fair enough. Thoughts, Alex?
Yeah, it wasn't a great match. I mean, the fact that when like John alluded to, Asuka tried to hit Charlotte with the Misty, she actually hit the bell ringer.
Yeah.
I laughed my ass off at that.
Yeah, I agree. It wasn't a great match, and like you, I laughed my ass off at that as well. And then, oh, excuse me. Oh, Jesus Christ. We get Jade Cargill versus Alba Fire, and obviously Jade Cargill wins the match to make her look more dominant than she needs to be. But I believe that the involvement, Chelsea Green was outside the ring and tried to get involved, but Kiana James and that came into the fray as well, if memory serves me correctly, boys. I believe right person won, but the match, I feel it was a rushed match. It wasn't long enough, I feel. Alex.
Yeah, I mean, this would have been a better match if it was like maybe 10, 15 minutes,
Yeah.
but it felt like a squash match.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not a big fan of Jade Cargill. Um, I'd actually be shocked if Alba Fire get the win, to be
I would have
honest, because
been very
we
shocked,
all
but
know
very
Alba
happy.
Fire from our days in ICW, SWA,
Yeah.
and British wrestling in general as Kaylee Ray.
Yes. John, your thoughts, my
Um,
friend.
Like you both said, like the match, I think the match was so rushed because the segment at the start went a little bit longer than it should have went.
Mm-hmm.
But I would have been, like you said, I would have been surprised if Alba Fire got the win against Jade Cargill because they're trying to build Jade up to be this behemoth.
Yeah. So before we talk about the match that we really don't want to talk about, we get a promo backstage with obviously Nick Aldis is in his office or a bit in the building. And Obafemi and Ricky Saints are there, and they says, "Oh, thank you for inviting us tonight, but why are we here?" And then obviously Cody walks in and has the belt, and then Cody tells both of them whoever wins that NXT deadline will be facing him at a Saturday night main event. Which I thought, then obviously you get to steer down between Obafemi and Ricky Saints. I thought it was really good to see that they're pushing the envelope the way that Cena's wanted this to be. You've got your veterans, i.e., the people like himself, Cody, showcasing and going up against, apart from what we're going to talk about in a minute, like said, Soul Rooker going up against Bailey, and then obviously um, Cody Rhodes going up against either Obafemi or Ricky Saints. I thought it was good to see that they are branching out and showing the developmental side the way that Cena wants to showcase that for his like final swan song, if that makes sense. Then we get the match that no one wants to talk about because we've alluded to it all night. Everybody really already knows that the fucking Austrian prick, as Ollie alluded to, is going to be John Cena's final opponent because he faced LA Knight and he won the frickin' match.
You know what? I'm going to start this. I'm just going to jump in here, right? When Javon faced Gunther, Javon had him beat,
Yep.
but I would have liked to, like we've said before, I would have liked to have seen either be Solo or Javon in the finals
Yep.
versus LA Knight.
Totally agree, mate.
But WWE shot himself in the foot. It's supposed to be the last time is now. They're supposed to be bringing an up and comer, not have this stupid Austrian wanker in there.
Australian?
Australia? Right, Alex,
Yeah.
carry on, and then I've
Yeah.
got 2 comments before we talk about deadline, and then we could go for the evening.
Yeah.
I don't think he wants to add anything more because I don't think he can.
Yeah, it was a shit fest. I mean,
It's a
Gunther's
fucking
get
joke, is all he said.
no-
There we go.
exactly. Gunther's got no history with Cena.
No, it would have been better.
No, none at all. And
No.
there's literally no point in this match because we all know what the outcome's going to be.
I have a theory about that, but we'll get there. We could close out with my
That'll be a
theory for his
5-minute
match.
match, I guarantee it.
That's the opening match because that's already been announced. Because Cena wants that to be the opening match. He doesn't want. I get it. He doesn't want because it's his final match. He doesn't want the main event to be. Yes, it is about him. But I'm thinking, if you look at what happened when Goldberg did his match on Saturday Night Main Event and did his thank you speech because he was last. Remember, time got cut and he didn't get to do his finishing speech. So is that why potentially Cena is doing his match first? So if he can't then get cut off, anything else at the end they could cut time off elsewhere, if you know what I mean. So before we move on to NXT deadline, Ollie has went on about the women's title scene before he mentioned that Gunther it's a fucking joke that Gunther's facing Cena. He went on, the people in the women's title scene is fucking shit. Jade has no proper talent. He would rather someone else had the title than Jade. He hasn't said who, but he would rather someone else had the belt. Now, we've already alluded to who the match of the night was, so I'm happy to move on. So we get on last thing this evening, and we'll go through this as quickly as we can, and then we can all go do whatever else.
I've got a theory about Saturday night's main event before. I'll say that after.
Yeah, mate, we'll finish this, and then we'll do this, and then we'll touch base slightly a bit on Saturday night main event, and then we can go.
Yeah.
So NXT deadline: Ricky Saints versus Oba Femi, and I'm pleasantly fucking shocked and surprised because I did not expect this title change to happen. The fact that Ricky Saints has had the belt for 2 months, so had a good run with it, but happy to see Femi with the belt again, but pleasantly surprised that it happened. Good match in itself with the different spots and that, but I'm like, okay, this is interesting. This is an interesting direction that we've gone to. Thoughts, Alex?
Yeah, this was a good match. Like you said, I was not expecting the title change so
No.
soon.
No, I wasn't.
There's-
Just the fact that he's not
I
long back.
was kind of expecting Ricky Saints to get the win, to go on to Saturday night's main event to take on Cody.
Cody, yep. It would make sense because
Um,
they have history before
does
when
make
they were in
sense.
AEW together.
Yeah,
And that's why I was
Um,
thinking, oh, this is going to be epic, them two showcasing against each other, but it's not happened. It is what it is, but hey ho. John, thoughts quickly.
Yeah. No, I really enjoyed the match. I like Obafemi and I liked Ricky Saints. I thought because of the history between Cody Rhodes and Ricky Saints, I thought it would have been Cody Rhodes versus Ricky Saints at Saturday Night Main Event.
Yeah, so Ollie's came back in, he goes, oh my god, this is not good. I'm fucking raging. Why put it on him only for 2 months? Pure raging man, 3 angry faces.
maybe because someone's getting a call up to the main roster.
Yes, I never thought of that. But I get what he's going on about because he obviously really likes Ricky. So, women's Iron Survivor, we have Keilana Jordan,
Gordon Grace.
Soul Rooker,
Kendall Gray, and the last person.
Lola Vice.
There we go. So, match started the way it normally does. So, how this plays out, they've got to win. You could pin throughout the thing, but someone has to win by one more fall than the other to be crowned the winner and the sole survivor. So, match started. We get it became like a tradition. It became like a 5-on-5. If that's the only way to describe it, because then if they get pinned, they get put in a penalty box and everything else. The way it works, and that's if you know what I mean. So obviously, Kendall Gray pinned Kiana Jordan. Kiana Jordan then pinned Gray. Vince then Lola Vice then pinned Gray. Gray then pinned Grace. Grace pinned Jordan. Ruka pinned Jordan. Ruka pinned Vice. Jordan pinned Grace. Grace pinned Jordan. Vice pinned Gray. Gray pinned Vice, and Gray, because she, with what, 30 seconds left to spare, she became the sole survivor. And she has, if memory serves me correctly, she is now the #1 contender at New Year's Evil for the Women's NXT Championship.
Yeah.
Yes. Thoughts on the match, and are we happy that Kendall Gray won it, boys?
Yes.
Yes, perfect.
My thoughts on the match. It was a really good fucking match.
Yeah.
Not who I was expecting to win.
No, definitely not. Like, because we all
But
alluded it, we thought,
if you look at Kendall Gray and who she actually is,
yeah.
I think she deserves this opportunity.
Oh, totally, mate. And it's like we've already alluded to with Cena's thing. You see why he picked her to be in this. If you know what I mean.
I'll be right back.
No, you're fine, mate. John, your thoughts?
Yeah, no, like I say, I was pleasantly surprised. But it was a good surprise in
Yeah.
the sense of no one expected Kendall Gray to win that match.
I always came back in the comment and goes, "What a fucking match! I did not expect Kendall to win. I was shocked. I think we all are, because you could see what she's done in Evolve, and the fact that you get that's the reason behind why John picked her, because he was an OV similar with Ray Odette, because he was down in developmental, if you know what I mean. Carry on, John.
Aaron, sorry. I'm going to say this now. Kendall Gray is evolving.
You went there, man. Wow. Yeah, I totally agree. But mate, it's great to see. Like, and I see why she was picked, and why other guys in it were picked as well. So just absolutely brilliant. So then we get on to Ethan Page versus Mr. Iguana for the North American Championship. And obviously, Ethan Page retained and won his belt. I thought, well, no, what, this was a very good match. But there was at points that the Mr. Iguana, there was spots where there was timing issues, and it was off. And obviously, Ethan Page had to cover up for that. But it's great that we're getting to see the talent of Mr. Iguana again in an NXT ring. The fact that he is AAA champion, AAA star, and Mr. La Resca. I love when he brings him out. It is brilliant to see and stuff.
You know who it reminds me of?
Go on.
Mr. Iguana reminds me a little bit of a mix between Goldust and Santino Marella.
Yes, I can see why.
Why did I feel you're going to say that?
I could see why. Welcome back, Alex. Right, John, your thoughts on this match?
Like you said, there was timing issues,
Yeah.
but Ethan's good at covering up that with making himself available to do what he needs to do to get the match to where it needs to be.
Yeah, totally agree.
A great showing for both competitors, and it doesn't take anything away from Mr. Iguana.
No, 100%. Thoughts, Alex?
I actually enjoyed the match. Yeah, there were a couple of botches here and there, but I quite enjoyed it. I mean, Mr. Iguana has been extremely hilarious, especially with his little iguana puppet.
Yeah, well, honestly, I love it. Excuse me, sorry, boys. Next match was Izzy Dame versus Tatum Paxley, and Izzy Dame won, but she only won because there was a bit of involvement from the outside. Now, I get they've got fatal influence and stuff, right? And I love her as a character, what Izzy does and everything else. But I'm pleasantly surprised how they're using Sean Spears right now. It's just like it's like they don't have anything for him. It's like he's just a manager in the background to the rest of the guys within that faction. I don't know about you two, but I just think, okay, we've got this guy back who is a great talent, but he's not being utilized properly. Thoughts,
I think
Alex?
I think the best way to utilise Sean Spears is have him as a singles competitor, not a manager,
Yeah,
and put him straight into like a title picture, whether it's the NXT title or the North American title.
yeah, I agree.
The match itself, I found really good, but at the end of the day, we knew Izzy was going to win this one.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But it was when she was begging Tatum Paxley to forgive her.
Yeah.
But we knew that was fake.
Oh yeah, 100%, buddy. Totally. Thoughts,
Um,
John?
Well, do you know what I'm going to say? It reminds me of the Ku Klux Klan, because all they need is the white coats and the
Oh, fuck.
hoods. Because, well, they're called the Cullen, so the Cullen Klux Klan. I don't know, maybe.
He went
But
there. He went there.
but I think when he gets that call up to the main roster, they're going to change him to Ty Dillinger again.
Yes.
I'll just call him Stan.
Yeah, that's very true as well. Actually, yeah.
They could bring Shawn Michaels out of retirement and give him one last super kick as Stan.
Yeah, very true. Very,
Maybe
very true.
recreate that iconic moment.
Yeah, that is class, man. Right, main event of the evening, boys. We have the men's Iron Survivors. We have say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. Do. Right, go.
Come
John.
on.
Yay! Leon, Dion Lennox, and Miles Bourne. So same format as the women's. The match eventually turned out as a 5-on-5. So
Yeah.
Evans pinned Slater, Lennox pinned Evans, Henry pinned Bourne, Slater pinned Henry, Bourne pinned Lennox, and then Evans pinned Bourne. But obviously Javon wins, and I'm sure this was the same as the women's. He only had what 30 or 40 seconds left to get that final pin.
Yeah.
But know what? Brilliant match. Absolutely brilliant match. Some of the spots in this match alone I thought were absolutely on point. The fact that what Javon and Leon did in this match, and even the others as well, oh my fucking god. I don't think I could add any more because I'll just talk for too long and we don't want to be here any longer.
I actually thought, right, my thought, see the end of the match, you know how we alluded to a couple of weeks ago when it ended with a silhouette?
Yes, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But anyway, carry on. Your thoughts on the match, sorry.
Like you said, Javon winning was absolutely amazing. Like,
Yep.
he deserves his flowers. He's worked so hard to get where he is today.
Yeah, totally. Alex, your thoughts, and then we'll talk about what happened afterwards.
Amazing match. I'm happy Javon got the win.
Yep. I think for
For me,
me,
match of
before
the
we
night.
touch base on the other afters, I think this match was match of the night for me.
And me.
So Ollie's just came back in because whilst he's watching along, he clearly hasn't seen the end of Deadline. So we've just spoiled it for him, obviously, because he went,
Sorry, Ollie.
I didn't even know he won. I'm buzzing. So he's happy that Javon won. So obviously he won, standing in the ring, Obafemi's music hits. And then he's staring and looking, and then we get the silhouette that the way that John was talking about. And then Mr. Sorry?
But we get the video package of the guy walking towards the
We
bridge.
get a video package of him walking towards, and then you see the silhouette. Then he appears in the ring, and Mr. Tony D'Angelo is back, and he takes out Javon Evans. And you just see from where Obafemi is, and he is the stare down. And I'm looking at it thinking, let's run it back, boys, because I get why they've done it, because we needed a change of direction for the Dawn and stuff.
Yes.
We needed that change of direction for him. But he was the last person to actually physically pin Obafemi. He was. The last time they were together, they pinned each other. 100% sure of it. Or the last time they fought, he's the only other person to pin him, if memory serves me correctly. I may be wrong. Anybody could correct me if I am wrong, but I just thought it was nice because this has been building for weeks, and we've all alluded to it. We thought it was him, but never put it out that it was the Dawn, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So very happy that he's back and under this new way, because it was well and truly needed. Thoughts on that before we touch base on Saturday night main event, and then we'll go.
Like I say, you could not have finished the show off better.
I think that saved the show. The Megs,
Yeah.
the Iron Survivor, and then him coming, I think they both saved the show. So, right, Saturday night main event. Thoughts on most what we know so far, and then we'll go.
Well, my theory about this.
Is this alluding to
So
John's
I think-
match? Is this during Cena's
Yeah.
match? Yeah, right, okay.
Yeah. So I think what they'll do is they'll have Gunther have momentum for most of the match, and then they'll think, or they'll make you think Gunther's going to win. Then John just unleashes this rage, pins like Gunther. Then he says a speech, but then somebody interrupts.
And that somebody is.
Randy Orton
And gives him an RKO.
gives him an RKO, turns around and says, "I should have been in this tournament. Why wasn't I allowed to be in this tournament?"
Nice, I like that.
And then it'll follow on to SmackDown the week after.
It won't, because Cena's actually physically said once he's done.
But what I'm saying is Orton will take that rage onto SmackDown.
Right. Yeah. I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Do you have a thought on this then, Alex? Excuse me.
I think Cena and Gunther's going to be a squash. It's going to be like a 5-minute match, and then another 10 minutes for Cena's speech.
Yeah. I agree. I think there's going to be shenanigans. It's only going to be a 5-minute match, but I do think there's going to be shenanigans. There's going to be a spot where the referee's taken out, and other people that have potentially been involved or not involved are going to get involved. And then obviously, yes, Gunther's going to win with the fucking stupid sleeper hold. And then we'll get the 10-minute speech with Cena thanking the crowd and everything else. And then he could carry on. I'm assuming he'll put his whatever in the ring. And then the next time I think we will see Cena will be at WrestleMania. Because
guaranteed he'll be the host of WrestleMania.
If he's not the host, he will be the headliner as Hall of Fame.
Yes.
I don't think it'll be this year's next year's Hall of Fame. I think it'll be 2027.
2027. The thing is, he's came out and said, he's came out and said that once he's done, he's actually done. He's hanging up the jobs. He's not going to come back and do anything. So if he were to, hypothetically, to try, like if they needed him for the show to sell tickets, he'll turn up like corporate. He'll be in a suit type guy. He'll not be in these jobs. Oh man, we'll wait to go in a minute anyway. So, and that, if you know what I mean. So I don't think it's going to happen. I love other folk that potentially wouldn't like. I love what if they would do. You'll get a video package and know how like people speak about him and say right blah blah blah. I would love where before he does his speech we get a wee package and folks say about on what he's meant and everything else and shit like that, if you know what I mean. It's going to be when it happens, like next week, because it's fucking next Saturday, John. It's going to be, for a lot of it, it's going to be fucking tearful as hell because, excuse
I've
me,
already started.
it's like the fact that he's came to the end of his terror, his reign. I know he needs to because that's what he wants to, but for a lot of folk, it's going to be because when are you going to get another talent like him? You know what I mean? It was the same as like when Taker left. You're like, yeah, he's done spots. He's got his thing. He's like his dead man show that he does, and I'm sure that's happening the Friday night before Cena's thing on SmackDown. If you know what I mean, I'm sure that's happening the Friday night before Saturday night main event.
I think it's Monday night. I think it's after Monday Night Raw this week that Cena's full interview with Tom Roosevelt.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to seeing that, mate. Honestly, I think that's going to be a good insight to everything about John as a person and as a wrestler, if you know what I mean. Because if you remember,
Yeah,
he
Chris.
was almost sacked from the company. And if it
Yeah.
wasn't from him beatboxing on the bus, the back of a bus, and Stephanie
Yeah.
McMahon hearing that, he wouldn't have the career that he has now as the John Cena
Yeah.
we know him. Because if you remember, like when he came out, that's why he's got the different shirts. Now, because I'm trying to fill a bit of void here before Alex comes back, what I think would be nice, right, is so see when oh fuck, Saturday night next week when the show happens. So when he comes out, he comes out through a door, right? That door opens, and when he's done his speech, and after at the end, once he's potentially gotten beaten, right, does his 10-minute speech, he walks back up, and he goes back through that door to close the door. So it opens to start when he comes into the ring. Once he's done his speech and that, he goes back up the ramp. He goes through the door to close the door to say that's it done, and that you could see him now rather than what, if you know what I mean.
Do you know right? The best Cena moment.
Mm-hmm.
What's been your overall best Cena
Oh
moment from
fuck!
the 23 years?
Oh mate.
All in for YouTube, mate.
Mate, it's got to be his feud that he's had with Arran. Like going or when he was at or him and Edge, mate, he's had so many. But it's like
Do you know what my? Do you know what my like the moment that got me intrigued to Cena
go on.
was his parking lot brawl match with Eddie
Oh
Guerrero.
yeah. That's a good one, mate. Totally. What I loved was remember in the pandemic season, right? The pandemic era, and how him and Bray had that it
Fly
wasn't really a
Funhouse.
match for Firefly Funhouse, but
Yeah.
how like when they put that together, they both came up with a collaborative ideas. God rest his soul, Wyndham, and stuff. Oh wow, right? Know what I mean? So God rest his soul, but the fact that they came up with the ideas collaboratively together and stuff, I thought that was just brilliant. It's not the way I thought that was going to be. Yes, it wasn't properly a match, but to see it play out the way it did, it was great.
It got people through I think that helped get people through the pandemic.
Yes. So
Like
go on, John. Before I pass over to Alex, and then we will definitely call it a night because we've been on for near enough about 2 and a bit hours.
yeah, just like when Drew McIntyre carried the company as well.
Yeah, definitely.
And
Right, you're
Cena was talking about that.
yeah. So I don't know if you heard when you were away, but what I said about when John came out and stuff, Alex, for his last match, the door's going to open.
Yeah.
He's going to come through that door, go run down to the ring with Stu for that one last time, and then he'll get potentially beat because that's how we feel it's going to happen. And then he'll do his speech, but then after he's done his speech, he'll walk back up and the door will close behind him to say, that's it, it's done. Now, do you have a favourite John Cena moment? And then we'll leave it there and I'll rabbit on a little bit.
Probably when he kept throwing bags of nuts in people's faces.
Yeah, thought that would be it. So thank you everyone who has joined us in the comments, and thank you to my lovely two co-hosts for joining me this evening. Considering we've covered so much over the last 2.5 hours, because obviously I wasn't here last week. We will definitely be back next Sunday at 8:30 to discuss Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and obviously Saturday Night Main Event with John Cena's last match. Myself and Craig are back on Tuesday evening, where we'll have the Scottish Superman, Drew Marshall, on with us. So thank you again to everyone who has joined us, and we will see you. The three of us will see you next Sunday, and myself and Craig will see you on Tuesday. Peace.